The 2025 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro is the top dog in the current Taco lineup, engineered of course for off-road enthusiasts seeking top-tier performance and durability. It's powered by an iForce Max hybrid 2.4-liter turbocharged inline-4 with a 48 horsepower electric motor, delivering a solid 326 horsepower, 465 pound-feet of torque. Now the off-road capabilities are enhanced with the TRD-tuned Fox QS3 2.5-inch internal bypass shocks featuring remote reservoirs and hydraulic bump stops, providing a great ride and comfort over rough surfaces. The truck is equipped with 33-inch Goodyear Territory all-terrain tires mounted on 18-inch wheels. I think they look great, even though they are black. In this case, I think it suits it, offering improved traction and durability, specifically when you go rock crawling, for example. You have an electronically controlled locking rear differential and an automatic limited slip differential, further enhance traction on slippery or uneven ground. In the front end, you've got a high clearance bumper for better approach angles and Rigid Industries LED fog lights to improve visibility in low light situations. I think the integration of these sort of aftermarket fog lights, they look clean. I think it's a very good integration. On the inside, you have these crazy looking isodynamic performance front seats that utilize an air over oil shock absorber system to dampen body movement, providing even more stability and comfort over unstable terrain. However, this is intruding a lot on the rear leg space, which I'm going to show you later on in this video. Now on the tech side, the TRD Pro is equipped with a 14-inch touchscreen taken straight from the Tundra, featuring wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You have a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster and a multi-terrain monitor camera system, great for off-road navigation because you can see exactly where the vehicle is positioned at all times in all four corners. All this, however, comes at a price. It starts at $63,735, with my tester landing at $67,410. Overall, the 2025 Tacoma TRD Pro is a truck that is way more confident and way more comfortable off-road than it is on it. If you're in the market for the ultimate off-road Tacoma in 2025, this is probably going to be it. This, of course, being the 2025 Tacoma TRD Pro. It's not a cheap Tacoma anymore. It's a brand new color for 2025. This one called the Mud Bath. Love the color with the black accents that we have. The Heritage grille in the front end. We do have the 33-inch tires and also a bit of a lift kit thanks to this Fox shocks that we have here. So we're going to have a look at this design from a front, side, and rear. The interior with the big, still 14-inch screen that we have in the interior. And then, of course, last but not least, we're going to take this for a drive. Starting with the front end design of the 2025 Tacoma TRD Pro, we do have the skid plates underneath. We have the rigid LED fog lights, and this being the TRD Pro, thankfully it comes with its full LED headlights, and you also have the indicators now being sequential headlight units, which I love to see. I want to see that on pretty much every single Tacoma. And you also have this massive light bar in the middle, which only works when you have the high beams on. Overall, I think this front end looks very chiseled. Of course, bringing it into the same type of design family that we have in the new Tundra. And I think it brings it together. The entire family now with the new 4Runner, the Tundra as well, the Tacoma here. They all have the same design language, and I love to see that across the entire lineup. Now, looking at the new Tacoma from a straight front view like you're doing right now, here you can clearly see just how beefy the TRD Pro actually is. This is, in fact, bigger in every single dimension than the old Tacoma. It's about 5 inches wider and 5 inches longer in the wheelbase. That does not help the rear passenger space. I'm going to show you that in a minute when we talk about the interior. It's very tight in the back. That has to do something, that has a little bit to do with the seats that we have in the front end as well. But look at the stance of this thing. I think it's such an imposing stance, and the plantedness of this looks proper, specifically since we have the Fox shocks. It doesn't have this raked design that we have on pretty much every single truck. This sits lifted about an inch in the front end and about a half an inch in the rear, giving it this planted and straight horizontal line that I want to see for the Tacoma. And all the way down here, you can see that we do have the Parking sensors integrated here. This vent is unfortunately fake, but thankfully we still have the Toyota Heritage badge or grille in the middle. It looks so much better than just having the, you know, regular Toyota logo in the front end. This looks a lot more classy in my opinion. Now looking up top on the hood here, we do have this bulge specifically for the TRD Pro. Unfortunately, I wish this was functional, but this is actually a fake air intake right here. They could have just opened this up and make it feel a little nicer and also have some functionality to it. But I do like that it's contrasted black with this mud bath color. Personally, I think I would get this in white because it would look so good to have the white exterior with the black accents that we have in the exterior design. You can also see the new headlights here, full LED. And again, these are the headlights that I want to see on every single Tacoma. I do love that it says TRD Pro illuminated here on the side, and also the black housing for it. Very chiseled looking front end with chamfers all around, also up top on the hood with the TRD Pro badge here on the side. Coming around to the side view of the new TRD Pro for 2025, this is what I love about the TRD Pro specifically, is that we do have the Fox shocks here, meaning, as I said, we have a 1-inch lift in the front end, we have a 1/2 inch lift in the rear, and that gives it this horizontal line or stance. I don't like these raked stands that we normally have for trucks. And you can see these beautiful wheel and tire setup here, 18-inch wheels, 33-inch tall tires. I think it looks beautiful. You have the rock sliders going along the side there, so you can take this off-road and not worry about scratching up the side of the bodywork itself, because these are solid steel rock sliders right here. Blacked out side mirrors, blacked out door handles here as well, and the chiselness that we have all around this vehicle, of course, comes back in the side here. We have this beautiful line right here, then comes back in the rear end here as well, with some beefy blacked out fenders right here in gloss black. I think I would rather have them be just matte regular black, because if these are going to get scratched up when you take it off-road and some branches are hitting this because it's painted, much rather have them just be solid black. But you see the roof line is also blacked out with the A-pillar right here, creating this contrast again with the body color and the blacked out features that we have going all around this truck. I think it's a beautiful looking vehicle, 11.5 inch of ground clearance. And when you look at these proportions, it definitely has this classic 3-box design that I want to see in pretty much every single truck. Now I want to give you a close-up of this beautiful blacked out TRD wheels, 18-inch wheels, 265mm wide tires, 33-inch tall tires as well. You can see the TRD shocks, specific shocks, the Fox shocks right there in red. Nice accent color, because this red comes back in the center portion of the wheel. And in this case, for off-road vehicles like this, I don't really mind the wheels being black. I think it suits this specific vehicle, because everything else, these fenders here and also the side mirrors, the A-pillar and the roof is all blacked out. So having the black wheels in this case, I think it actually looks really, really good. And the design itself looks nice. It would be cool to see this being beadlock capable, just to add a little bit more ruggedness to the design, overall design of the wheel itself. Coming around to the rear end, this is in fact power assist. You just press this button on the side, it folds down the tailgate. I love that it says Tacoma across the back here. Spray-in bed liner, and we do have some LEDs, some tie downs on the side, and you have Tacoma spelled out in the front portion there as well. In addition to some storage space here, you have a 12-volt outlet, a USB as well, and on this side you do have a 12-volt house outlet. So if you want to plug in some power tools or a grill or a cooler or something like that, you can do that right there. So pretty basic bed, and you can only get this with the crew cab and the 5-foot bed for the TRD Pro, and I think that is probably the one you want anyways. Now, specific for the TRD Pro is going to be these tailpipes right here. This is a 4-cylinder, but it still sounds pretty good. We also have this styling coming back from the Tundra, of course, with the big LEDs in the back. I do love this design. It creates a very distinct design for the Tundra Tacoma in general, and definitely, again, as we talked about in the front end, brings it in to the 4Runner, the Tundra, in the same sort of design language like we want to see. We have TRD Pro spelled out in the tailgate here. You can have this be filled in with black if you want to have it be even more pronounced, and all the way down here you have the connections for the trailer. Very easy to hook that up, in addition to an LED right there. And all the way down low We have these red tow hooks. You have a full spare size tire there with a full wheel as well, 18-inch, exactly like we have on the vehicle right now. Great to see that. This bumper is solid as well, aluminum or steel bumper right here with the parking sensors integrated all across the lower section. I think it looks very, very cool, this vehicle. Definitely has this rugged feel that you want to see for a TRD Pro. And now we also have this new chiseledness going on, like we talked about in the front and side view. Definitely comes back here. And here again, you can see this button on the side. Just press this to fold down the tailgate. If you want to fold it back up, all you got to do is press it once again. And that is pretty much it. Pretty cool design. Not sure if I find this useful. I feel it's easier to just fold it down manually. It's also a lot faster, of course. This is pretty slow, and it's something that I don't feel like I necessarily need, but it is available here in the TRD Pro. Now, we talked about the beautiful exterior design of the 2025 TRD Pro. Just look at it with all the mud. I'm going to get a little bit more muddier than this because I think it suits the vehicle. But now let's jump in and have a look at this interior. And of course, the first thing you're noticing when you're stepping in here is going to be the big 14-inch infotainment screen right there. Thankfully, we do have wireless Apple CarPlay. But let's start with the door panel here. I do like the design with the red stitching, soft touch material up here. Pretty cheap looking door handle, all hard plastic. I want to see this for $64,000. Make it a little bit nicer than that. Automatic up and down with the windows here. You have the mirror controls as well, and you have some storage here. TRD Pro in this almost, I'm not sure if this is real carbon fiber or not, but I think it looks very cool. A couple of cup holders down here. Sound system integrated here in the door as well. You have these new seats that come with their specific shocks integrated in the back of the seat itself to keep you even more comfortable. I can show you that real quick. Even more comfortable when you go on the trails. I mean, you have a suspension settings for the seat itself. Just nuts. But you can see just how tight it's going to be with the leg space there. I honestly don't think I'm going to fit back there when we jump in there in a minute. 12.3-inch gauge cluster. The seat design themselves just look beautiful. Heated, ventilated, tactical camo in the backrest here. You can barely see it. You have to be sort of straight on to see the design here. TRD in the middle. Fantastic design for the seats. And we have, of course, power assisted, but it is manually tilting. The backrest, you have to manually tilt it with this one. The back and forth and lumbar support and all of that is, of course, power assisted right there. So let's jump right in here. Let's get a feel for this interior. I'm sure you've been in a new Tacoma already. They've been out for a while now. But I kind of like the interior. I do still think that this screen, the 14-inch screen, is way too big. I don't need a 14-inch like this. It doesn't feel like it's well integrated. It looks like a TV on the dash, but I do like this carbon fiber texture that we have here with the heritage badge again coming back right here in with this red outline as well. Tacoma spelled out. You have some storage space up top. The red stitching coming back here as well. Glove box with an air pump in there. Very nice to see that. Now, looking at the infotainment screen itself, if you go into the native Toyota system, you're probably used to this system by now. I mean, it's a pretty standard system. The design starting to look outdated with the graphics that we have in here. But these are settings that you're probably just gonna set once and forget about it. And then you have the phone system here. You're probably always going to have it in Apple CarPlay like I have it right now. As you can see, you have all the apps that you want for your phone. All the way down here, we have this section here is one of my favorite sections. Because you know why. This is what I want to see. Just have the climate settings be separated like this and have a look at how rugged these are. The dials for the temp controls just perfectly laid out. Exactly what I want. It's even rubberized on the sides here. Very easy to grip when you're on the highway. You don't have to look down. Heated and ventilated seats in 3 different levels right here. Fan speed in the middle, and you circulating air if you want to have that. Mode on and off, where you want the air to blow out from, of course. And pretty standard stuff. I mean, it's very easy to figure this out. And this is so easy to just put this into the interiors of brand new cars. We don't need to have everything be pixelated, and I love this. It's a lot safer, it looks a lot better, and it's probably a little bit more expensive for the manufacturers to put, physical stuff instead of having everything be pixelated, but I think it's worth it. Wireless charging pad right here, 2 USB-Cs in this area. You have a 12-volt outlet right there as well. I do like this gear shifter because, this gear selector, because it's very traditional. TRD here, red in the middle, similar to what we have on the steering wheel up top here. Put it into reverse, gonna pop up all the cameras. Every single camera is available here. You have these cameras right here, for example, to see exactly where the wheel is positioned. The front camera right there as well, and you have the top view, the top 360 view right here with the trajectory lines. You can also have the off-road camera, the trail camera right here. You can see the angle of the vehicle, switch between these angles. So you have, if you're like, say that you're liking cameras in the new Tacoma, I don't know what camera could possibly be missing from this system. Fantastic camera system by Toyota. Parking brake here, hold at red lights, and you have this multi-terrain select. You have to go into four-wheel drive in order to select multi-terrain select. And now we're in four-wheel drive high. Now we can press multi-terrain select, and you can see we got a lot more options now. For example, auto, dirt, sand, mud, or deep snow. Right now it looks pretty muddy outside, so that's probably the one I would keep in for now. But let's move it back into two-wheel high. We have the trailer connection here, the camera settings. Press that to bring up all the cameras. You can lock the rear diff, or you can disconnect the front sway bar to give you even more articulation in the front end for those extremely rough trails. Two cup holders here. This is what the key looks like, a pretty basic Toyota key. I would want to see this be a little bit more special for the TRD Pro, specifically when you're paying this much money for the vehicle. Armrest in the middle, we can open this up. It's pretty shallow, but I feel like this is pretty standard as well for this type of size of truck. Now looking at the seats again, proper bolstering, and these are extremely comfortable to sit in for the front passengers. As I said, the rear passengers back there, they're not gonna have a lot of space at all because of the shock system that we have on this vehicle. Now look up top, you do have a sunroof here, something that you can't get in the Trail Hunter, for example. Something that I don't really care about, as I'm sure you know. You can open it up here. You open up the rear window back there with that button up top, and we have, of course, the 12.3-inch gauge cluster, customizable. You can customize this to show you whatever information you want. You can customize the center screen. You can also customize individually the screens on the side, where you have inside of the tachometer and the speedometer. You can have them be whatever information you want there. You have the indicator stalk on the left side, and of course the washer stalk right here on the right side. The steering wheel is taken straight out of the Tundra TRD. Looks good. Nothing crazy going on here. You're probably used to seeing this steering wheel, and I like that they kept the same steering wheel here. Just makes it easier to, the learning curve to jump into this from a Tundra, for example. You have a bunch of different more buttons here. Traction control, for example, on and off. Auxiliary buttons to hook up your 40-inch roof-mounted light bar, your train horn, and stuff like that. TRD light bar, that only works when you have the high beams on. You also have the bed light on and off right there. So I do think we talked about everything in the front, and I forgot to mention, this is pretty cool. You can pop up the JBL speaker, and now it becomes a, Bluetooth wireless speaker you can have outside. If you're camping, for example, you want to bring this outside, you can definitely do that. Pretty cool to see. And of course, this can turn into a camera if you want to have a camera or a regular mirror. But I think the camera in this case looked very grainy. It's not a high resolution camera. Again, I usually just prefer to have it in regular mirror setting like that. Now, I don't think we are going to fit. I'm gonna fit behind here, because me being 6'1", 6'2", behind my own driving position, and this is gonna be tough. This is gonna be real tough. But let's jump in and see if I can, first of all, get in here. As you can see, these shocks that we have back here makes it extremely tight. The headspace is decent, but this is not a place I wanna sit for a long time. It's just way too tight. You can have the settings for off-road or road, for the shocks, for the seat itself down here. You can adjust more stuff up here, some gauges as well, TRD with the carbon fiber housing for it, exposed hardware here as well. These seats, they look fantastic, but practicality for the back seats is not great when you have these type of seats. Personally, I don't think I would choose these seats. I feel like it's a little bit of a gimmick maybe, unless you're going on like Baja trails 2-3 times a week, then I don't think you really need this. It's just very, very cool that you actually can have these. You have 2 cup holders here, another house outlet in that area, 2 USBs as well. You don't have any cup holders here, so you can't fold down this area, which is pretty interesting to see. Usually you just fold it down and you have 2 cup holders there. But as I said, I want to get out of here because it's way too tight. So let's jump out and let's take this for a drive and let's see what this is all about out on the roads. All right, let's see here. Go into sport first of all. Traction control. Let's just turn that off for now, and let's try and give this Tacoma a new paint job before we take this for a drive. Sliding a little bit there. Very muddy out today. Thankfully the sun, as you can see. There we go. Pretty fun. Pretty fun to do that. Get some dirt on this Baja Racer. Now, we do have 327 horsepower from this hybrid inline 4. And we have 465 pound-feet of torque in this. That is 200 torques more than the old Tacoma, which is pretty substantial. That is, of course, thanks to this hybrid setup that we have right here. And it is so smooth. I mean, I would not expect anything else, but going over these imperfect roads right here. We also, of course, have the shocks and suspension in the seats, in addition to the Fox shocks that we have in every single corner here. So the comfort in here is pretty good. 33-inch tall tires as well, a lot of rubber on those with 18-inch wheels. Everything is on point. This is a great vehicle that you want to take off-road. I mean, it would be so comfortable, in addition to all the camera settings that you have. So you see exactly where the vehicle is positioned in every single situation. So let's come to a stop here. 0 to 60 in about 7. It's not the quickest 0 to 60, but it doesn't really matter. So let's floor it. And there we're up to 60, and that was a little bit downhill as well. So it's not the quickest truck out there, but I think people who buy this, they don't care about the 0 to 60 times. I mean, I don't. If I were to buy this, the first thing I'm going to ask is not how quick it is 0 to 60. I'm going to ask about the suspension settings, the ground clearance, 11.5 inches of ground clearance, which is not bad at all. And the camera comes on at every single red light. I know you can turn it off, but it's very annoying. I don't want the camera to come on every single time I stop the vehicle. Something I did turn on in the previous Tacoma, I just haven't figured out where that setting is. But overall, I mean, this interior, the 14-inch screen, not sure what you think about this. Do you think this is too big? I do like that we have wireless Apple CarPlay. I mean, you expect to have that obviously for $64,000. Coming back to that, first of all, let me know what you think about the 14-inch screen. Would you want to have it be 14-inch, or I would probably pay extra to have a 10-inch screen, to be honest, and just have it be better integrated than what we have right here. That's just my personal opinion about this 14-inch screen. It looks better in the Tundra because the Tundra is a bigger truck overall. It just suits it to have it be 14-inch there, but in this case, don't necessarily feel like we need a 14-inch screen. Now, the price, over $64,000 for this. That is base Ram RHO money. And that is where it gets very, very tricky for me, because the RHO is the best truck I've reviewed. I think it was this year. It has to have been this year. I think I reviewed the Rebel previous year. But the RHO, you can basically almost, I can't remember the base price for that, but it is very close to this that you're paying for a TRD Pro. There are different trucks, I know. The RHO is not really I mean, it does have the 35-inch wheel tires on there. The suspension is great. It has a very beefy stance to it as well, similar to what we have in this one. But it is, of course, a bigger truck. And that is where, for me personally, I would probably spend a little bit extra more money and get the RHO, because I personally, I'm a Ram fan. I love Ram trucks. I think they still are the best looking trucks in the business, even though I think Toyota has done an absolutely fantastic job, specifically with the exterior design of the new Tacoma. And These vehicles, as you know, you can customize them to look exactly like you want it and handle exactly like you want it. I think the aftermarket business for the new Tacoma is just getting started now, and over the years we're gonna see so many companies coming out with accessories for the new Tacoma. So you can even go with a base Tacoma and spec it out to be as capable or even more capable than a TRD Pro for way less money than you're actually paying for a fully spec'd TRD Pro like we're in today. When it comes to the noise of this vehicle, I really like the sound of this. It sounds really good, even though it's just a small little, I mean, a 2.4 liter four-cylinder. It's not the smallest four-cylinder, but you do have 48 horsepower of EV from the EV motor, which gives it this turbo lag. There's zero turbo lag in this vehicle. But the good news is that you can still hear a little bit of turbo whistle, which I love to hear when you still have that intact in modern vehicles. It's something that's slowly going away, and it's nice to see that it's still intact in Toyota products. You hear it in the new Land Cruiser as well. In the new 4Runner, you can also hear this little whistle in the background to know that you're still, showing that you're still driving a turbo vehicle. But just driving along here on this beautiful road, it's been raining a lot these last days. Thankfully, it's getting a little clearer the rest of the week, hopefully. And definitely a vehicle that you can go for a long time. Now, they say that the fuel tank, I think it's just over 18 gallons of fuel tank in this, and they say that you get about 410 miles of range. I don't see how you're getting that long of a range with this vehicle. I got this with almost a full tank. It was like this from full, and it showed just over 200 miles of range. So maybe, I don't know, maybe the last 5% of the gauge is an additional 200 miles of range, or you simply get around maybe 300 miles of range or stuff like that. Very strange to see the official numbers and then see it in real life here. The features and the tech and the design and everything is just on point when it comes to the new Tacoma, specifically the TRD Pro. Love what's going on here with the styling, the exterior, interior, and also this new mud bath color that I love. The only problem I have is just how expensive trucks are becoming today. It's $64,000. I keep coming back to the price point. It's almost like a luxury vehicle. You could buy an S-Class a couple of years back for $65,000, a brand new one. Maybe not an S-Class, but a brand new, fully spec'd E-Class, a luxury vehicle for that type of money. And now that's sort of the standard, $50,000, $55,000, $64,000. That seems to be the standard these days. I do think we need more trucks, specifically trucks that are cheaper and more base level when it comes to specifically the tech. Keep the off-road capabilities, the suspension and all that, but remove some of these features, the disconnecting sway bar in the front, the multi-terrain select. We don't need all of those drive modes, for example. Just have it a lifted base truck, and if you want to add more features, you can do that. But by doing that, you also lower the price point substantially, and I think that will attract a lot more buyers, specifically to a mid-size truck like the Tacoma is. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.